If Trump wanted this to end, he could end it in an instant. He could end it in an instant. In terms of Trump, his administration is stacked with Zionists. One of his premier bankrollers, Miriam Adelson, doesn't believe there's a such thing as a Palestinian. Mike Huckabee also has said there's no such thing as a Palestinian. There's no such thing as the West Bank. There is a different wing of Trump world that is not as bloodthirsty or as pro-Israel, but they are in the minority. So I think we have to be very clear-eyed about the fact that this is also a militant Zionist administration that is in power. But the wild card is that Trump wants business. And my understanding is that Qatar in particular has been putting a tremendous amount of pressure on Trump and linking it directly to the business deals and saying, listen, we did these things. I'm not saying it was a quid pro quo, but they're saying, look, you've declared a new golden era in the Gulf. We're down with that. This thing needs to wrap up. And I think that there was a belief in Doha and elsewhere that Trump was, in fact, going to push this thing. That didn't happen. Clearly, they've once again set Hamas up as to be portrayed as the obstructionists in the room. And I agree with your point. It was subtle how you made it, Nora, but I do agree with it. I don't think that Netanyahu necessarily is steering the ship and Trump is caving into him. My guess would be that it's more likely that there are figures within Trump's camp, including powerful figures in the Republican Party that are in the Senate and elsewhere, who are putting enormous pressure on Trump to make sure that this deal leaves a very clear, gaping loophole for Netanyahu to resume the genocide after day 60 of this temporary deal. The only reason that I draw a distinction between Trump and Biden is that I don't view Trump as an ideological person in the way that I do Biden. I think Biden's whole career says that he was ideologically committed to a war of annihilation against the Palestinians and would often defend Israel when it was at its most violent, and then became the chief facilitator of the most heinous Holocaust inflicted on the Palestinian people since the state of Israel was created. In Trump, I think Hamas saw possibility, not optimism, but possibility. And they had to make moves that they felt were responsible. And I think there's legitimate criticisms. I've heard it from a lot of Palestinians. I agree with some of it. If Trump wanted this to end, he could end it in an instant. He could end it in an instant. I don't think that the resistance is going to capitulate to these terms. In a way, it all just boils down to whether Trump decides it's bad for business. And it's sick. It's really sick. That's the reality, but I think it's true.